ARW Australian Derby, and they're off and racing, and the favourite Preferment just being snagged back at the start from the outside draw. And Hampton Court jump well together with Quick Strike. Volk Stock and Barrel's handy, so's Mongolian Khan on the rails. And Volk Stock and Barrel gets a nice position third from Quick Strike. Then Mongolian Khan back on the fence. Mongolian Khan is sliding through on the rails, pinching good ground going to third. Mongolian Khan's getting an inside run together with Volk Stock and Barrel. Omros just in front, the trio on the far side. Hauraki, Mongolian Khan and Volk Stock and Barrel. Mongolian Khan surging through. Mongolian Khan from Hauraki and Volk Stock and Barrel. And here's a Trans-Tasman Derby double. Mongolian Khan beats Hauraki and Volk Stock and Barrel.
A short time ago, Mongolian Khan winning the ATC Derby there for Baker, Forsman and Bosson. Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to Trackside's Weigh In. A shortened program tonight to fit in that last race from Sydney. The boys are here, and Butch, the Kiwi flag right at the top of the mast in Sydney today. A very good evening to you.
Along with the Chinese one I'm picking.
Yeah.
Look, fantastic. Look, just an amazing performance to pick him up out of that Rosehill Guineas run and win an ATC Derby. Phenomenal, and congratulations to all concerned. Great for the New Zealand industry, and a wonderful performance out of our Derby for those horses to run 1-3 at Randwick.
Absolutely. Also in from the Ellerslie races today, Paul Shaler and Twiggy. Mongolian Khan, well, he was very good. Volk Stock and Barrel was game as well. Good evening.
Yeah, he was super in defeat. Darryl, good evening, mate. Yeah, probably not suited to the heavy track conditions in the 2400 metres, but he certainly wasn't disgraced.
If you'd like to get in contact with us throughout the course of the show or any time during the week, you can contact us via facebook.com/weighinshow, at weighinshow on Twitter, or you can email us as well, weighin@nzracingboard.co.nz. Our special guest tonight is Andrew Forsman, of course, trainer or co-trainer, I guess, of Mongolian Khan and Diadem, who was successful at Te Araha on Saturday. Evening to you and congratulations.
Thanks, DA.
Group 1, both sides of the Tasman. I guess the weekend doesn't really get any better than that, does it?
No, you can't be complaining too much with that.
No. Let's talk about Mongolian Khan first of all. As Butch alluded to, the Rosehill Guineas run maybe just a little bit below par. What sort of confidence did you take into today?
Probably not a hell of a lot the way he went at Rosehill. It was a real head scratcher. He appeared to have travelled well over there before that. Worked pretty well leading into it, so for him to go, to put in a flat run like that was a big worry, and obviously the team have done a good job over there to turn things around.
Was there any discussion, any thought of turning him out after that Rosehill Guineas run?
No, there never was really, to be honest. Look, the horse was well, he looked bright, like I said, and he had eaten up, so there was no physical reason to turn him out. We'd taken him over there for the Derby, the Rosehill Guineas was a run to have him sort of fit and keep him ticking over for that, so yeah.
Yeah, I think when the rain came, you would have taken a lot of confidence out of that too, with his track record on the slow tracks.
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously he's probably, no horse loves a heavy track like that, but what it does do is make it more of a staying test, and you see the likes of Volk Stock and Barrel. He's gone a great race as well, but just 2400 on a heavy track just probably found him out the last bit.
He's a real warrior as well, isn't he? You watched him there get that bump, and that seemed to just really switch him on again and want to get to that line. 2400 metres, clearly he's a superior stayer. We said it out of our Derby and we'll say it again, but look, 2400 metres today, but why not 3200 in the spring?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's Mr. Lang's sort of goal, post the New Zealand Derby. He said he wanted to win the Australian Derby, and then the Melbourne Cup was his next sort of main aim, so why not?
First New Zealand horse to win the New Zealand and Australian Derby since Bone Crusher. That's 30 years ago. I mean, that's some buzz, isn't it?
Yeah. To be mentioned in the likes of a horse like Bone Crusher is, that speaks volumes. So that's just a massive honour.
Be a great thrill for Opie too. I mean, he's been a very, very successful stable rider for you guys this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done a great job. Whenever you put Opie on, you never have to tell him what to do. He's one of those jockeys where he just gives you great confidence just legging him up. So he knows the horse well. He was the right man to have on, and it's all worked out.
He's an international jockey, Opie. Look, you know, we've seen his record when he's ridden overseas. He rode Grand Archway to win a Group 1 as a young kid. He's won derbies and the Singapore Cup races up there. He's just so cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, disappointment on Fair Form when she was scratched out of the Caulfield Cup. He was there to ride her as a favourite, as a young fella too. So.
But he gets on well with this horse because, from I understand, like he's not the most straightforward horse. Is it? You know, like he can be reasonably difficult to handle at times.
He can get a bit wound up. He's a colt, you know, and at times he knows it. He's good to handle on the ground, and track work he can be a bit awkward. That's probably the biggest part to him. So, you know, Michael Roosterby at home, he's done all his track work and he's moulded him into the horse he is. And Opie he is a professional when he races, though. Opie's always said that, you know.
I thought
Nah, but look, you know, whenever he gets into a race situation, he just drops a bit and lobs, you know, and he's always done that, which is strange, you know, given the way he can fire up in track work.
Did I hear either you or Murray saying that he works in company a lot, and that's probably stood by him when he gets into races and has horses around him, yeah?
Yeah, our staff at home have done a great job with him. He has been a fair bit of work in progress, but you know he's always been a pro at the races.
They're the unsung heroes too, aren't they? The Michael Roosterbys of this world that do all that work to make these horses the product that they are, and then the Opie Bossons, you know, go out and do the business race day. But you wind it all back, and you take something that comes to you as a horse that needs a lot of work, and these guys do that work to get them there.
Yep, you're right. They are unsung heroes. You know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't get any credit at all, and it's, you know, it's hard for them. They're the ones getting out of bed in the morning, and you know, it's great, but they'll get a buzz out of that.
I bet you.
Yeah.
You'll sling them. You'll sling the staff too, won't you?
Absolutely.
You'll shout them a drink. Beautiful.
Murray, or just you?
I'm sure Murray will.
Yeah. All right, so Group 1 success in Sydney today. Let's wind back the clock 48 hours. Group 1 success at Te Araha on the weekend with Diadem. Look, this was a super win, caught wide initially, and in the end broke the track record in winning here for Jonathan Riddell, his ninth Group 1. But gee, you must have been absolutely delighted with her effort.
Yeah, it was. Just, I mean, amazed really more than anything when the track came up as good as it was. You know, she's a mare that sort of had a fair bit of racing, and she's always had issues, soundness issues, and you know, to kick like that and hold Sports Illustrated off, who was flying going into the race. Just an amazing effort from a very tough mare.
So you say your Sports Illustrated going into the race, she was flying. You would have had her on the day ahead of Diadem?
Yeah, if you asked me to pick between the two, I thought on the good track, Sports Illustrated would have beaten her.
Yeah, I think you can take a lot out of that run of Diadem, where she's gone and won the Westbury Classic out here, and then gone to Tauranga. She's off one of the first horses beaten, wasn't she, before the turn, and then comes out and wins a Group 1. It says a lot about the state of the Tauranga track.
Well, I think we said, didn't we, after that meeting, just
don't
disregard the form because
exactly.
she's far better than that. What she was super in the Westbury, you know, and I think we spoke to Opie that night. That was when we did the Wednesday show, and he said, you know, 1400. She was really looking for a mile then, and we saw that just how strong she was at the end of the mile on Saturday.
Yeah, and running a track record too. Like they've run 123 or 133 and a bit of change. That's a good, strong gallop.
Jonathan Riddell suited her down to the ground too. He was positive on her, and he's a good, strong rider too.
Yeah, he was absolutely the right rider for the job, and I guess we're lucky in that regard how it worked out too. And just wrapped to have, you know, Scott Richardson was there, and you know, it's just an amazing moment for him too, his first Group 1 winner.
Now both of these mares, I understand, could be backing up in Sydney this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a possibility. They're booked on the plane Wednesday night, and you know, sort of tentatively booked to run in the Queen of the Turf. So we'll just have to wait and see how that all pans out.
Okay, so will that be just a one-hit wonder for them, or one-hit attack, if you like?
There is another race in Scone, I think it is, in a couple of weeks after that. So we'll just see how it all pans out. But the next sort of 48 hours will tell the tale.
Okay, but initially they've both pulled up good. Yeah,
both pulled up very well. They both cantered around this morning, and the girls, you know, they said that they all seem as good and felt as good as they were going into the race. So.
Yeah, but a great result, Quinella in the Group 1.
Yeah, massive thrill.
Excellent. Let's talk about a couple of the other runners that you had go around at Te Araha on the weekend. Highland Park, first of all, in the 3-year-old 14. Running third to Smashing. Happy with the effort?
Yeah, he's frustrating, this horse. This is actually the second time I saw it live, obviously, and I haven't seen it since. So.
Oh, this is the one that they went out for, wasn't it?
The vision, but he's just mentally hasn't really switched on yet. You know, he's still quite physically immature too, and he still lasts there with about 100 metres to go, and he once he finally gets out into the clear, he gets home really well. So I think as an older horse, you know, he'll get up over ground and he could be a stayer of some promise.
So where does he go from here?
Look, we'll find a mile for him somewhere. He needs good track, so he's going to run out of time, but just we brought him in to give him sort of maybe a run over a mile, then get him to a middle distance and probably turn him out. And we'll turn him out, and bring him back sort of late spring.
Okay.
Winner was good there.
Yeah, Winner was very good.
She has showed a lot of promise. She had a rude bone slats.
Yeah, but good that she could get up to 14 there, because
sure.
she's always looked to me a really short course horse.
6
But
furlong horse.
They've obviously got her to settle, and she was good. Yeah, out of Red Van Sluts.
And good Tiaka hitting a bit of form too. And a lot of Matamata trainers are too. They're starting to train a few winners, so it's good to see.
The very next race on the program was the Banded 75 staying event over 2,200 metres. You had Imperial Hawk in this, sent out favourite, and had to chase home Augusta National, who was a little bit better off in the weight. I think 3.5 kilos less in the weight, but gee, the run was pretty good.
It was good. She just, probably when I saddled her, I sort of probably wasn't that confident. You know, she started to sweat up and your coated turned a bit. And just, you know, maybe got the feeling that she had enough. She's been up a long time. I think, you know, she was in foal in the spring when she came to us. She aborted the foal. So we've raced her on and she's raced really well. But sometimes with mares, you know, they can be flying in track work at home and you don't really know they've had enough until, you know, they put in a run like that and it was just a little bit flat.
Twiggy, the winner there, Augusta National, we talked to Maura Murdoch last week about these horses that go to the beach to here and get rejuvenated. This is a prime example of one of those.
Exactly. A lot of horses get a little bit stale in the yard, don't they? They do the same thing every day, and a lot of stables these days don't have paddocks, or it's the modern way of training, just training horses out of boxes. And Maura's obviously got that beach environment, and obviously Augusta National's got there and thrived and got a new lease of life.
It was a good win, because it wasn't the worst field there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Super.
On Thursday, you had a really well-back first starter by the name of Harry line up at Taranaki. Won a couple of trials leading into this. Gee, he was good.
Yeah, he is. He's been a bit of a surprise packet. When he won a trial back in the spring, I think it was, and we turned him out, gave him a long break, and he's come back looking really good. So he's bred to get over a trip, so it was encouraging to see him do that.
Yeah, he was really good.
He's a good action horse too, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you won the high weight down there as well with Troy Harris doing the riding. It's pretty handy to be able to get Troy in the high weight.
Yeah, it is a massive bonus. You know, he's obviously a Group 1 rider, so you know if you can get him on, you're a big league up there.
You travel a few to New Plymouth. Is it just a nice trip away for younger horses, just to switch them on, a sort of a day trip? Is that the thinking behind it?
It is good. You know, it's not a massive trip for them. It's 3.5 hours, so it is good, and it is a good experience for them.
With Josemi winning the last at Ellerslie today, that takes you to 84 wins for the season here in New Zealand, and with Mongolian Khan obviously winning across the Tasman this weekend, it's gone from very good to just outstanding, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. You think, you know, when's the run going to stop? But it just, you know, keeps going on. So we'll make the most of it.
How many horses are you working? Sorry, dear.
I think we have 65 at the moment.
Yeah, right.
16 of those 84 wins at group or listed level. I mean, that is outstanding, and a strike rate of 4.5. You must really be proud of what you've achieved this season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's a good bunch of staff behind you too. So, you know, it's very special, and you probably won't appreciate it until it's all sort of done and dusted, and you look back on it and realise what an achievement it has been.
Yeah. Well, congratulations once again. I mean, it's a phenomenal weekend for you. Group 1s, as I said, both sides of the Tasman. So, again, thanks for coming in. Congratulations once again, and let's hope we have you back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
All right. Andrew Forsman with us here on Weigh In. Well, fair to say that a jockey manager likes to see any win from his jockey. If it's a stakes win, of course, it goes up a notch, but a Group 1 win in Australia, well, that's another story. We're back in a moment.
And Stock and Barrel takes the inside run now and races up to join Hampton Court at the top of the straight. Then Haraki getting through. On the outside, Omros is cutting loose, and then Mongolian Khan. Omros, he's drifting right across the racecourse. He's very erratic for the Magic Man. Omros just in front. The trio on the far side. Haraki, Mongolian Khan, and Stock and Barrel. Mongolian Khan surging through. Mongolian Khan from Haraki, Stock and Barrel. And here's a Grand Cousin Derby double. Mongolian Khan beats Haraki in